Hello everyone, my name is D'Angelo and it's been so long since I've made an actual video for you guys. And today I'm here with a new reshade preset, which is really exciting. I really love reshade and that's what this video is going to be all about. I have a brand new reshade preset which you can download right now. I'm going to be showing you absolutely everything to do with it. I'm going to be showing you my settings, how I use it, and going through everything basically. And if you guys are new to reshade, I would check out my reshade playlist, which has some of my other presets on it and also some other guides that I've made in the past, and also some issues that I've encountered with reshade in the past and how I fixed them, even with some of the effects that we're going to be talking about today. So this is my XOX preset, and this preset is made for people who want enhanced, rich, cinematic visuals in The Sims 4. If you like taking pictures of your Sims, this will be the perfect preset for you because that's what I love to do in the game. My eyes light up every time I get the chance to take pictures of my Sims, and I can spend hours doing it and not get bored. And there are two different versions of this preset, the cast preset and the gameplay preset, and everything will be detailed in the Patreon post below. And I use a lot of different effects, but I'll be going through everything. But let's go into Create a Sim first of all. Oh, and how rude, I didn't even introduce you guys. These are my three Sims. There are siblings. We've got Bryn, Reese, and Caden. So here we have my Create a Sim preset. This is how it looks in Create a Sim. I feel like it looks a little bit stark because I've got the white cast background, but usually it looks a lot less like contrasty, but I still like how it looks like this. This is Reese. Here we have Bryn, and then here we have Caden as well. So you can see that there is like a high contrast, and I use a lot of different effects. So when it comes to my cast preset, I use quite a few different effects. So starting off with Luma Sharpen. Also, one thing that I only realized, I feel like I've been doing a lot of learning with reshade recently, so I want to tell you this if you're new. The order that you have your effects in for reshade actually makes a difference in how your reshade looks. For example, if I move MXAO to the top, like to the bottom, you can see slight differences in the shadow changes, and the same with relight as well. You can see the lighting change. But yeah, first of all, I have Luma Sharpen, which just kind of adds a little bit of a sharpening effect. You can see how it's a lot smoother here, but here adds a little bit more definition. I like the crispy look. I like being able to see the texture of my Sim's skin and everything being defined. Then we have FXAA and SMAA, which I don't really know fully what they do. All I know is that they fix the edge smoothing issue when you turn off edge smoothing, which is very important when you use the next effect, which I use, which is MXAO. MXAO adds a really nice shadow effect, which I feel like a lot of people are aware of this effect already, but if you don't know it, it's a really nice shadowy effect. I use two different versions of MXAO. I use the Quint MXAO and the Immerse MXAO. And yeah, they both add a little bit of depth to the preset and I like it. I like the kind of darkness to it. Next, we have PPFX SSDO, and that kind of does a similar kind of thing. It adds a little bit of a shadowy effect to things, but in a different way. So if I turn it off, you can see how it kind of adds more shadows, like softer shadows around the face and obviously around other things in the game when you have it turned on in game. Whereas MXAO kind of goes around like the contours. I don't even know if the word's right that I'm using, but you can kind of see the difference. MXAO is a lot more intense, whereas PPFX is a little bit more soft, but adds a little bit more shadow. Next, we have Filmic Tone Map. This one makes a huge difference. Look at the difference. It basically adds all of the contrast, saturation, everything to my game. And yeah, this effect is what really makes the preset more rich in color and has a more like kind of warm tone to it. But yeah, here are my settings for it. Here I have it. I do adjust sometimes the highlights to make it a bit brighter. So if I want Caden to shine a little bit more like Edward from Twilight, I can bring up the highlights. But a lot of the time I like it to be darker, and then you can also adjust the shadows as well. I don't really adjust the linearity too much because I like it being on one. I like the warmth and the saturation. Next, we have relight, which is very important. I use two different versions of relight, kind of the same way as MXA. I use the Immerse relight and then the Quint relight, and I only just discovered the Quint relight. I think everyone and their mother's been using this, but I hadn't. And yeah, relight is a really good tool to add more dynamic lighting to your game for both Create a Sim and gameplay. And I actually made a relight tutorial before for the Immerse relight, which if you want to check that out, you can. It gives you a little bit of a guide of how to use it if you don't know where to start. And for Quint relight, the tutorial applies, but it's honestly a lot easier to use the Quint relight because you have visual guides for like where everything is. But for relight, you can also change like the tints of the lighting. So if you want like orange or like a brown light that I've got here, so it kind of makes things warmer, or you can go for like a blue light or a purple light, you know, something like that.
Got some blue going on.
You can adjust the intensity, so if you want like harsh lighting or like no lighting, you can play with it the way you want. And yeah, you can also change the angle of the lighting as well, so if you want it to be like to the left, to the right, up, down, more in the face, less in the face, you can do that as well. The next effect that I use is Technicolor 2, which is one of the basic effects that comes with reshade when you install it. And yeah, honestly, I've always used this. Like without it, it makes everything, like for example the filmic tone map and every other setting I use, like tint, which we'll be getting to in a minute, look more orange. So I use Technicolor to make things look a little bit more realistic, I feel. I know not everyone uses this effect, but I really like it in mine. But you could definitely not use this effect if you want and just play with the other ones to fit your style. Next we have Tint, which kind of does a similar thing, and for me I like it to add extra warmth. So if I take it off, you can see the cast background is actually white the way it's supposed to be. And I actually do like how this looks as well, but I do like the extra bit of warmth. I do like my game feeling warm and cozy and that kind of vibe. Next we have Prod 8004 Contrast Brightness Saturation. That's a long one. And for this I just kind of play with the saturation, the brightness, how I like the contrast exposure. You can just do like little touches to the game to make it look a little bit brighter, more colorful or less colorful if that's your style as well. And yeah, it's a really nice effect if you just want minimal changes without like, you know, it's very clear to see what you're changing with this effect. And yes, that is all of the settings that I use for this preset. And yeah, I really like how it looks. I feel like it looks really good in my game. I like how my Sims look with it. Now I know there's a lot of effects in the cast preset, so if you like cannot handle all of those effects on your PC or anything like that, you can turn some off and it will still look really good, of course, or just bring down the intensity of some effects, or just see how you like it, you know, play with it to be how you want it to be, you know. This is my how I like my preset and it's my game, but everyone has their own game and their own taste, so you know, have fun with it and experiment. Now here we have my gameplay preset, and you can see that it's a lot less harsh, there's less effects going on, and it looks a lot more similar to the regular Sims 4 game compared to the cast preset at least. Wait, I kind of feel bad, I feel like Bryn's being left out here. But if you look at the effects I have here, I have less effects, and for the most part I use the same effects in both presets except from one extra one in the gameplay one. So in gameplay I have Limit Sharpen on, FXAA, SMAA for the edge smoothing, Filmic Tone Map because yeah, Technicolor, Tint, Contrast Brightness Saturation, and then also a new one, Unsharp FX. And if I take off Unsharp FX, it doesn't really make a huge difference. It just kind of softens, like it makes it a little less contrasty, I guess. Like it's not super noticeable. Like you could honestly not have this one and it would still look pretty much the same. Like it's only really, like if I didn't tell you I was using this, you probably wouldn't even notice, to be honest. But I really like how it looks. I like the softness that it adds, and it kind of adds I really like my presets to look a little bit soft. But yeah, I don't have MXAO enabled for the gameplay preset because I want my game to look as smooth as possible, and as you can see I feel like there's a lot of shadows in the game anyway. But of course if you want to have MXAO on, you can definitely turn it on, but I just like everything to be smooth and kind of like as smooth as possible. But for when it comes to taking pictures in The Sims and in-game and making your gameplay screenshots and everything look amazing, we're still going to be using the gameplay preset, but we're going to be tabbing out. So if you guys use the tab mode for The Sims for pictures, which I feel like a lot of people do, if you don't know, you can just press tab. And yeah, you can actually sync some extra effects in reshade so that when you press tab, more effects turn on for your pictures. And that's why these guys look a little bit different. So I have even more effects back on. A lot more of the cast preset effects are now on, although there are some new ones for the picture version of the preset too. So MXAO is back, PPFX is back, Relight is also back. I don't like Relight on for my regular gameplay just because it's also very taxing on your computer. But I also have ADOF, which adds a blurring effect. So here are the settings for that, because I know it can be really difficult to like get everything to be how you want it to be. So you can just pause here. And then I also sometimes use DOF as well. It doesn't always make a big difference, but sometimes it does. And I think it looks really good in some pictures. So I like to have that one on too. And yeah, you can see how the picture preset looks. Here's Caden. And for example, this is where I maybe would turn off DOF because I feel like sometimes it doesn't fit perfectly with some images. I feel like he looks better without it here. It's less blurry. It's not messing with him too much. Although I could change the settings to make it work, I feel like you don't always need it. And yeah, for the most part when I'm taking pictures, I only really adjust relight like this. So I use Quint relight mostly, and then the immersive relight for finishing touches. And yeah, that's just kind of how I play with the reshade preset a little bit. It's really just trial and error for me. I used to be really Like, I really used to not know how to use reshade pretty much. I used to use Technicolor too, and that was really it. Maybe a sharpening effect. And yeah, I got to this because I learned from other people. And yeah, hopefully this helped you guys. Also, for some pictures, I do like to use vignettes for a little bit of a cinematic vibe, and also film grain as well. But I also sometimes edit that in later on. So yeah, guys, that's my XOX preset. Please let me know what you think of it in the comments down below, and check out the Patreon post for all of the details. I'm going to show you some of my favorite pictures that I've taken with this preset so far, both in cast and also in gameplay, because I'm obsessed. And yeah, it seems since Kaden and Reese left Bryn out of the conversation, she decided to vogue on them, so you know what, good on her. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a lot of fun with this preset. Please tag me in any pictures on Blue Sky, Tumblr, even on YouTube, I'd love to see. And check out my Discord in the description. I'd love to have you join and see your pictures there as well. And if you have any questions, don't feel afraid to ask me on Patreon or also on YouTube here. I am not a reshade expert, but I'm still willing to try and help, of course. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon with another Sims 4 video. Also, I stream almost every day on Twitch, so check out my Twitch as well, another plug. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!